You know, as I said, most evaluators are trained as researchers, and part of our training as researchers is to carefully qualify what we say, make clear the limitations around it. And that's almost a problem when we move to communicating evaluation results. Instead, we want to avoid jargon, research methods. We want to be able to pretty clearly say what we mean. Let me just give some examples. If we were describing a monitoring study, we have to have what is called in the United States an elevator speech, meaning something that you could tell somebody else riding up and down in the elevator, riding up in the elevator. And so an elevator speech on a process study might be, I found that the program really worked as planned. Each of the major steps were followed, with one exception. The section on blank was somewhat more complex than it was intended to be. But the other portions of the program were well understood by the people delivering it and went very much as planned. The end. And even there, I had to resist my little tendency to say more, because you want it to be clear. And I'll give an example with an outcome study. You might, for example, say, we found that the people on the Welfare to Work program did improve their employment and their income over the next 5 years compared to those who were not on the welfare program. The improvement was not huge, but they were able to be employed most of those 5 years and to improve their income. Yeah. Wow. And then now an important part of what I said there was not to a huge extent. But then I would say, do you have more questions about that? And I would hope and then I would respond to them. But if they didn't, I would say, look, I'm going to go a little bit more into how big the change was, And I would now say a piece about that long, While 10% were employed the whole 5 years, 90% were moving from job to job and were unemployed at some time. But that was much more than the employment they had had before.